the total three crypto market cap. It's setting around 1 trillion. Where do you think that can go over the next year going into the altcoin bull market?
So what I think this chart will do is...
Hey guys, and welcome back to another JSpizzle Crypto YouTube video. Today we have a super juicy video with you guys. We have a awesome guest. We have the famous Crypto Kid on the channel today, and we are going to be getting some insights for him for questions I think a lot of people have. But before we get into it, the most important question of the day, the first one, is how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, JSpizzle. Thank you so much for having me on your channel.
Alrighty, so for the first question, if you look back into the charts back in the 2017 bull run and the 2021 bull run, you look at coins, big altcoins such as XRP and Litecoin, and there were several others who didn't necessarily hit an all-time high, or if they did, it just matched the all-time high and didn't go above that. And it just seemed like something held these coins back. What do you think that was? And do you think that we'll have the same thing happen again in this altcoin market coming up over the next year?
Okay, my breakdown of those dino coins like XRP and Litecoin that, I mean, obviously like XRP was able to print a new all-time high, but like you said, it was just barely able to go above its 2017 all-time high. The thing with these dino coins is they're a little bit tricky to sort of foreshadow what's going to happen and predict. With XRP, it doesn't obey altcoin season. XRP pumped very prematurely back in October as President Trump was going to be, it was more confirmed that President Trump was going to be president. XRP just exploded out of this multi-cycle bullish pennant it was forming and hit $3.4 and then continued on to reach $3.6. But Litecoin, on the other hand, another dino coin like XRP, it is forming on the monthly time frame also a huge bullish pennant, but it is still yet to see that breakout. So if you're asking me, okay, Crypto Kid, where do you think XRP is going to go to? I don't like the chart of XRP so much. I think that on the weekly time frame, or if we go to the XRP USD chart, which was where we were on to get a better picture of all the other cycles, you can see that we're right now in the process of trying to form a double top. Hopefully that doesn't happen. We do have a pretty significant bearish divergence too. Can XRP continue going up? I think it absolutely can, because we have the ETFs. The CME futures for XRP is seeing a lot of demand, and that usually hints that the spot ETF is also going to see a lot of demand. What happened with Bitcoin with the ETFs? Bitcoin went up massively with the ETFs. Ethereum also, over the past 2 months, we've seen drastic inflows, helping the price of Ethereum reach new all-time highs as we did just the week before. So can XRP continue going up from a fundamental basis? If we look at those ETF narratives, then yeah. But on a technical perspective, we do have bearish divergence. Double top is pending. Am I opening trades on XRP? No, because I don't think that XRP is as lucrative of a chart as things like Solana, where you have a huge cup and handle pattern. You have the ETF already in play. You have massive amounts of stablecoin issuance from USDC going on to Solana. Solana proved itself as the commercial blockchain. You have the Bollinger Band squeezing on the weekly time frame. So to me, if you ask, okay, would you go in long XRP or would you go in long Solana? I would say Solana, but it doesn't mean that XRP can't go up. It's just that the Solana chart to me looks much more lucrative. And going to Litecoin finally, just to complete your question, on the weekly time frame, we're going to go to the monthly on Litecoin. Litecoin is forming a very similar bullish pennant as to what XRP did. The only difference is Litecoin is still so far away from the breakout target, let alone actually breaking out in the first place. I know Litecoin, nobody uses Litecoin. I know that it's just there, but technically XRP is the same, right? So I just think, I think that Litecoin can follow those technicals. If we're able to break above the resistance of the bullish pennant, I will be going in and longing Litecoin more aggressively.
Okay, that's a good point. That's some great insight. So perhaps some of these coins like Litecoin has been in these really a bullish pattern now for 8 years, 9 years since back in 2016 going into 2017. So maybe we'll see the real fireworks break out, and since it's been forming for so long, it will just really be explosive coming out. So thank you for your insight on that.
No worries.
All right, so my next question for you, and I think so many people are interested in this because this is where the real money is going to be made. The total three crypto market cap, it's setting around 1 trillion, kind of getting some resistance. Where do you think that can go over the next year going into the altcoin bull market? What's the highest you think? Let's say let's give a an average price where it might go, and then give a best case scenario.
Sure. I mean, my analysis is going to be incredibly simple. So I think that's always more effective, actually. This is the total three crypto cap chart. If you guys are wondering what is the total three crypto cap chart, it's just the total crypto market cap, reducing Bitcoin and Ethereum, purely focusing on every altcoin apart from obviously Ethereum. So what I think this chart will do is I just believe it's going to follow Bitcoin, as in every single Bitcoin cycle, Bitcoin/crypto cycle, you have a transition of capital going from Bitcoin to Ethereum and then into the rest of the altcoins, triggering what we know as banana zone or altcoin season. And there's always a delay between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest of the crypto market. And we can see that arbitrage/delay right now presented on the chart. So the white line is the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin has already been able to test this orange line, which is multi-cycle resistance forming since 2017, retested twice in 2021, and now Bitcoin is, you can even argue that it's tested it in early January of 2025, broken above it and finding support. But the general idea is that we're just at that line of resistance. So I think that Ethereum is doing a pretty good job trying to catch up to Bitcoin. The chart is incredibly messy now, but we're trying to make our way going to and following Bitcoin. And when we go back to the total three crypto chart, which excludes Ethereum, that's still a bit more premature. But look, we have a huge cup and handle pattern forming. We're on the neckline. We're about to see the breakouts. The Fed is going to be cutting rates. We're entering the final leg up of the Bitcoin/crypto markets. And during that final Q4 leg up, I think altcoins will see an explosive move to play the catch-up trade and ultimately end up around the 1.7 trillion range, increasing market capitalization by 70%. That could be a little bit frustrating for your audience because I know it's not the same 10x increase in market capitalization as what we saw in the previous cycle from 2020 to 2021. But you need to understand the Fed cut rates to 0% there. We have to put that on a new price scale to represent that accurately. But if you go to Fed funds, you can see that the Fed cut rates to 0. We saw the global money supply double. Right? We saw the dollar collapsing in value, and all those things, all those economic stimuli caused Bitcoin to go up 6x. It caused altcoins to go up by 10x, etc. Will we see that amount of quantitative easing? Will we see an economic environment like what we saw in 2020, 2021? I don't think so. We don't have a black swan as we did like COVID, which led to all of that money printing. But I think that we can still go up by 70%. And in that 70% increase, I think individual altcoins that have ETFs, that have actual use cases like the Chainlinks, like the Ethereums, will lead those rallies and can still go up by 3 to 5x. So that's how I'm analyzing the total three chart.
Gotcha. So you think like the top 50 to top 100 are going to be the main players this time, opposed to like all just the random coins that was 50, 100xing the last couple altcoin seasons?
Yeah, I think more so. And I think the RWA narrative is the one that's going to see the strongest amount of demand because that's real utility. You're seeing Chainlink today partnering with the Bureau of Economic Analysis. Chainlink is, partnering with ICE Markets, the largest market of Forex. Ondo Finance is going to start tokenizing stocks as soon as next week. That's real utility. That's real stuff. And I think real world asset projects, those layer twos on Ethereum specifically, I think can do really well. And projects like Solana, the commercial blockchain, tokens like XRP maybe, that gets its ETF, I think those coins/tokens will lead that rally. and I don't think every single small coin is going to do that 100x anymore. I don't think that's the environment we're in. I could be wrong, and I would love to be wrong. I hope that I'm wrong.
Yep.
But that's not what I'm seeing this cycle.
Cool. Yeah, thank you for that insight. Okay, and so for my final question, this is a really, really hot topic right now. We've saw Trump media investing $6.4 billion into the Crow coin, that's Crypto.com's coin. See, now, what I'm seeing is that we have this Crypto.com, a crypto platform that has this coin, and like you were just saying, has real utility, and there's a lot of people use it. A lot of Americans are going straight to crypto.com whenever they get into crypto just because it's so user friendly. People just go straight to that. What do you think crypto.com coin could do compared to BNB, which is another coin that's linked to a crypto exchange?
Yeah, great question. Even though I love crypto.com, I'm completely staying away from Crowcoin. Number one, because I think all of the hype is already projected into the price, so you're pretty much late if you want to buy in already. Number two, the Crowcoin has done some shady-ish things. If you go to the beginning of this year or last year, you have to check with Zach XBT's post, but he showcased a burn of 70% of the supply. And then what happened a few months later was, because Crypto.com controls 70% of the validators of Crow, they voted to reissue a massive amount of tokens, whereas the remainder 30%, which were the decentralized validators, they said completely no. And they were supposed to burn those tokens forever, but out of nowhere, they just ended up printing a bunch more tokens because the Crypto.com validators that amass the decentralized validators, they wanted to print more tokens into the supply. That was one incident that made me say, okay, I don't really like that. And the second point, obviously, is most of the price appreciation has happened with the news that Trump media is going to buy Crow. And yeah, Crow does have utility within the Crypto.com app. If I'm not mistaken, they get cash back with a Crypto.com card. But is Crypto.com going to change the world? No. I don't think the coin is going to change the world. And if we look at BNB, I think BNB is still pretty undervalued when you compare it to Crow that just saw that massive pump following the news. I can quickly share my screen and show you BNB, the chart of BNB. We got the inception infinity loop there. But if we go to BNB, you can see that BNB is just breaking out of a huge inverse head and shoulder pattern, a very similar pattern to what Bitcoin broke out of a few months back, and then that propelled it to all-time highs. So far 124,000, but this inverse head and shoulders has a target of 1,250 for BNB. I think I really do see BNB reaching that price target. So it's only a 45-ish% price appreciation from where the price of BNB is trading at. And in altcoin season, where the total 3 CryptoCap chart should at least go up by 70%, I think BNB has enough market share, has an enough good pile of that total 3, a good enough community, a good enough use case to see a 41% price appreciation, and the technicals do support it. So I think BNB is the better opportunity here, and my personal money is in BNB and not Crow.
Wow, awesome. So BNB all the way, and you think crypto.com is priced in already?
Yeah, pretty much. I could be wrong, but I think at least BNB is looking very strong.
Well, there you have it, guys. This guy's the expert. He knows what he's talking about. But
Thank you so
anyways,
much.
I really appreciate you coming on the channel today. We'll have to do it again real soon.
For sure. Thank you so much, Jay.
Alrighty. Yeah, absolutely. God bless you guys. Until next time. Bye-bye.